You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I'm playing only songs that have to deal with heat today. I feel like...
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Dean, Craig, how's life treating you on this 6-degree Wednesday?
I'm staying warm. I got here, so that's a success.
A lot of ice out there, but we trudged on through and made it through just fine.
Well, honest, I was, because you get bored at home, and I was doing some research, and I don't know if the ice is good, but the more snow the longer it sits there, right? It soaks into the ground, and hopefully we get some nice looking leaves this fall. That's what I'm hoping for. Mm-hmm. Maybe I read something wrong. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. It gave me hope because the leaves this past fall were kind of,
kind of ho-hum.
Yeah.
So
we're kind of coming out of a dry period anyway. The last 3 years or so, we haven't had a lot of rain. So all this snow will benefit us in the spring.
I'm ready for
that. Cold,
that.
It makes it suppresses that mosquito population. So that's another benefit.
Right.
Look at you guys.
We haven't had a really deep freeze like this for a while. It seems like so, and a lot of snow. So
you guys are giving me hope here. I like the positivity here.
Success.
Well, Dean, you rightfully so said his ears were ringing because Mary joins us for Hainer Libraries Beyond the Shelf segment, and coming up this weekend, you will be at Hainer Library giving a presentation.
I will. Saturday morning, 10 o'clock at the Genealogy and History Library. I've been interested in river towns a long time. I've been writing about river towns for 15 or 20 years and visiting. I've been lucky enough to visit a lot of places along the Mississippi. So I'm really invested in their fortunes, and this talk really gives me a chance to go a little deeper into some of my observations about river towns, what I've seen for communities that are doing well, communities that are struggling. And on top of that, I have a brother who's an urban planner and architect, so I kind of feel like that makes me by default an urban planner and architect. And makes me an expert by default. So we talk a lot about towns and what makes towns work and what problems towns get into. Mm-hmm. So I put together this whole talk to offer some of my observations about our river communities, what things we're doing right, what our assets are, where we're really struggling, and maybe offer a few ideas on what we can start doing to bend the curve.
Well, and honestly, it's one of those conversations that people really, I think, are going to find so fascinating, because when you look at it just at a, blanket statement, just seeing the event, it's like, well, that's unique, but when you really dive into it, you find out just how incredible some of these river towns really are and the potential they have, especially now. Mary and I were talking, because I don't know if you watched the segment, but that bi-state development freightway is just incredible. I mean, there's hundreds of millions of dollars of money on these rivers, and how do the towns shape themselves, and also how do they do it in the past too, which I think is so cool.
Right, absolutely. And I think part of what I hope people will do is think beyond just what we move on rivers as a river asset. As for a lot of communities, the river transportation doesn't benefit them directly. Mm-hmm. A barge passing by your community doesn't provide economic benefit. So if you're a smaller town,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Whatever. What are the assets that you really have? What do you have to build with that your community can work with?
See, this is what I find fascinating, though, because just for me, just for my little spiel there, that's where a lot of us think, oh, man, this is really unique. But you're right. How do you bring the economy to you when it's passing you by?
Right.
That is going to be really how long does it last?
7 or 8 hours, I think. Jesus!
I was like, man, are you going to bring him lunch too?
Yeah. I think they're only giving me 45 minutes, so I've got to have all the answers in a short period of time.
And now, are you taking questions?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Really cool. They have a nice. I really do like Hainer's event space. Are you going to be over at Alton Square Mall doing this, or down at?
I think I'm at the History and Genealogy Library.
Oh, that's even better, man. So, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man, really cool.
That's where I'm showing up, so that better be it. So.
Yes. Well, if you're planning on going, just go ahead and go to Genealogy, because you heard it here first. That's where Dean's going. Also, the big thing is, really, before we talk about anything else, is this water trail system, Craig. And, the Mississippi Water Trail is really just a wonderful and such a unique and also such an important, geographic space. And fill me in on this. Fill me in on the Mississippi Water Trail and just some of the things you guys do to kind of recognize the spaces we're in.
Yeah, the Mississippi River Water Trail has been around for about 12 years. We're a nonprofit, and we team with the Corps of Engineers, and we have a 121-mile trail that we take care of on the Mississippi River from Saverton, Missouri, down to the Arch. And we have primitive campsites and where all the access points are. If you go on our website, there's a interactive, dynamic map there where you can see, where can I get food, where can I get water, anything that a downriver paddler would need on the river. You can go to our website, pull up our map, and kind of figure out what's out there and where to.
It's just incredible. It really is. And take me through, have you been with the organization since its inception?
No, I haven't. I think I've been like 8 years, something like that.
Well, fill me in on those 8 years of just what you've been able to accomplish and what the trail's been able to do.
Yeah, we've grown quite a bit with our. We do a lot more than just maintain the trail. We have a lot of events throughout the year. So we have a race that we do every year on the Mississippi River, which is a lot of fun. We get a lot of participation in that. We have other events where we invite the public out. We have training where we get folks to come in and sign up to learn how to paddle on the Mississippi River. Paddling on a big river is totally different than jumping on the Merrimack or something like that.
Right.
So there's with the gear and the rescue techniques that we teach you and everything, we really teach you and get you ready to paddle on the Mississippi River, and so we provide that training. So yeah, it's really grown with the amount of events and other activities that we're doing.
Well, if it's okay, I wanted to show the website too, because this is really such a unique map. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, we're going to go on the scene. Yeah, I can do this. All right. On the fly here, on the fly training for CJ. I'm learning here as we go. But this is part of your guys' work, correct?
Yep, yeah. It is, and that's you can find our campsites and find places and see when you click on something like you just did, it tells you what's going on with that specific site and everything.
So that's the Moiser landing site?
Yep.
Moser Landing.
So it's a place like if you're trying to get on the river somewhere, an access point, then you can find those public boat ramps on there.
This is incredible.
Or maybe you're paddling down the river and you need to meet someone to drop off some food, some water, whatever you need to keep you going on the river. You can tell them, hey, meet me at this particular boat ramp, and the map will help you do that. But you can go to those campsites too.
Lock viewing platform. Where's that at, Craig?
Is that black one there? Is that a campsite maybe?
Pelican's Point. Primitive camping permitted.
Yeah. So there's a camping spot right there at Pelican Point.
Look at all of this.
A lot of the campsites are on islands out in the river.
Look at this, though. I mean, we aren't even getting near Jerseyville yet, and there's just so many landmarks, though, that's got to be so beneficial for anybody that travels or even, but even just recreates, in that area. It really gets them the most out of that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like the Appalachian Trail on the water.
It's a good way to put it.
That's what we everybody's looking for the next place to camp when they're coming down the river, and we give you a fire ring and try to keep the vegetation cut down as much as we can get out there and do it.
This is so cool. We didn't go through your website last time you guys were on. This was really cool. We'll have to link that again. We'll have to go through some more because I like playing with that. I like maps. I'm a big map guy.
I love maps too. There's a section on the website too that offers some ideas for different places that you can paddle. So a half-day trip, if you're looking for an easy paddle, there's a whole section of the website that'll give you more detail or some ideas on places where you could do.
Like right here. I got this. Look at this.
There you go.
Look at this. See if I can navigate it, anybody can. Look at that, though. I mean, so where advanced, but you can click on any
intermediate, and maybe you want to go out and paddle a little bit. Again, I would recommend a little bit of training getting on the Mississippi, but once you do that, we've got all kinds of options here that you can different sections of the river that we find beautiful place to go and easy to get to.
That's just really cool. I've never navigated your website before. That's a wonderful resource, man. That's how much work goes into really going through and not only updating that data, because that's a lot of technical work, but also just going through and cleaning up spaces, because, Mother Nature doesn't stop for you.
I know. We try to get out at least once a year to do a significant section, a pool, we call it, of our water trail, and we get out and clean up the sites. And then sometimes we will get out there and determine that the site that we've selected for camping is not good enough anymore because of the changes, as you mentioned, with the river flooding and that kind of thing, and we'll pick a different site. So these sites can move from time to time, and we kind of team with the Corps of Engineers to get out there and check all those out. But so over the course of a few years, we'll eventually get to all the sites and, trying to hit one section of it every year. So
this is cool. I mean, this is really cool. Man, and this is just wonderful. I got to talk to you more about just the water trail and some of the other stuff you've done after the break. But the big point is, too, coming up on January the 25th, this is one of your bigger events. There's two, the Firecracker Race, which I am drone footaging this year. We have got to do this. I am not going to
We're going to see you racing this year.
Oh, my goodness. What's that guy on Wahoo Racers that always spins, or Wacky Racers that always spins around backwards? That'd be me.
We'll get you a boat.
Yeah, and I'd still lose. But coming up on January the 25th, Mississippi Meanderings. This is a wonderful event. Music on the Mississippi River is the theme of this year's, correct?
Yes.
And take me through this. So it's 12 to 4 in total, correct?
Ish.
Really cool.
So registration opens at noon, and we'll start the presentations around 1. We do this every year. I was thinking, Craig, one of these days we ought to go back through our past meanderings and figure out how many times we've done this, because it's been quite a few years.
It's been a long...
But it's our annual winter gathering for folks who are interested in paddling in the river to get together, maybe break some of that cabin fever, and come out and hang out with other folks who are interested in the outdoors in the river. And this year we're doing something a little different, and we're kind of going deep into the idea of music as it has been influenced by the Mississippi. There's a great history of musical development, of artists, and great music coming out of the places along the Mississippi. We probably tend to think more further south in the Delta and Mississippi and those places. We have fantastic musical traditions in this area, like Miles Davis with his roots here in Alton. But for this one, we're gonna do two main things. We have a guy coming in, Kevin Belford, who maybe 10 years ago wrote a book called Devil at the Confluence. That's the history of pre-war blues in St. Louis. And his whole premise is really that St. Louis had its own style of blues that developed independently. It didn't come here from somewhere else.
Wow.
So it's a little counter to the story we often hear about how blues developed.
Well, and honestly, that's a really important kind of statement, because where do you ever hear that music wasn't influenced by another, another location or another individual? When it's actually generated within its own incubator, that's pretty rare.
Yeah. So I think we don't hear that story for our regions so much. So Kevin, he's a graphic artist by trade, but he's spent much of his life, researching this old blues history in St. Louis. So he's going to talk. I think I've talked him into bringing some samples of music that he can play. So maybe we'll hear a few clips from some of those early blues musicians in St. Louis. It's a great story, very fascinating. And then the second part is we're bringing up a guy named Trapper Haskins, whose home base is around Nashville. But he has a great story to tell. Last year, he published a book called Crooked Old River that tells the story of this. He went to Maine to learn how to build boats. And in the process, he came across the design for an old Mississippi River yawl, a rowboat. And he got the idea in his head that he was going to build this rowboat and then take it down the Mississippi, the length of the whole Mississippi. So he did, he got the boat built, and he took this boat down the river, but it actually took him 2 trips with 14 or 15 years in between to actually finish the trip, to get to the end point he wanted to.
Wow.
So he's going to talk about that experience, the inspiration for the boat design, how he built it, and the trip itself. He's also a musician, though.
Oh, that's cool. That's really a good way to tie this in.
Absolutely. So when he's done talking, we'll take a little break, and then he's going to set up, and he's going to do an acoustic set of original songs for us. So
that's awesome. And this is really unique, too. I mean, this whole part of it I like, because it's you really hit the mission, because you have that hour to kind of hang out, kind of meet, mingle, catch up, shake off the cabin fever, talk about what you're working on. And then by 1:30, I mean, you're really having some great conversations and really just some great stories to hear too.
Absolutely.
And how much is it to be a part of this?
It's $15 to attend the event. If you want to become a member of the Mississippi River Water Trail, we charge you another $10, so it's $25. And you get our newsletter and get invites to all of our events. And, volunteer, help us out at some of our events and that kind of thing if you want to become a member. Well,
and honestly, that's what I think is so important, too, because what you guys do really is important. If there wasn't a group like you guys that go out and do these type of things and keep watching and see how the vegetation's growing on certain islands or what it looks like, it could get really bad. I mean, you could have some severe overgrowth, and then you have some loss of maybe an ecosystem or two that are, on those islands. There's some really important work that goes with maintaining those. Just keeping watch of them just to monitor and see where things are going.
Yeah, well, while we're very focused on our campsites and maintaining those, the Corps of Engineers kind of plug them a little bit. They have an entire forestry side and conservation side, in addition to the commercial traffic that they have on the river and everything. And they're out there maintaining the environment on land really that they're responsible for, that they take care of, and they watch for invasive species and that kind of thing to eradicate those things on those islands and on the shore.
Well, and that's what I get that, but really what you guys do, though, not to take away from you, just to monitor that, though, and just for your campers and all that. I mean, that's important for their safety and all. I mean, it really is. I don't want you to take away from what you guys do at all, Craig. It's wonderful. I want to sign up. I'm like, you're kind of getting me hooked. This is incredible. So we have this coming up. I want to talk about the firecracker race, but I got to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more here with Craig and Dean. This is just, every time you guys come on, I always have fun talking with you guys. Well, you stay there, we'll stay here. It's 9 degrees. We're warming up out there on RiverBender.com.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
A little shot of the river there, tie it all in. Being a producer today, trying. Back with Dean and Craig, just really great to see all the things that really do happen on the river, because when we talk about recreation really and what benefits that could come with it, and really just seeing some of the pictures that you guys take from like the firecracker race, which we'll talk about here in a second, and some of the other gatherings, it's really cool to see folks from all different parts of the area coming together and utilizing the river and one of the best ways to utilize it in.
Yeah, we invite folks to come out and paddle with us. We have sunset paddles where beginners can come out. We'll be posting those on our website. And, we provide the gear if you need us to, or you can bring your own, but kayak if you have it. And we get out there, and we're only out there for an hour and a half or so. We just kind of paddle out, get a good view of the sunset. It's a great time. I think we had about 20 folks out there when we did it once.
Really cool.
This past year, and watch that sunset right on the water and then paddle back. So anybody can come out and paddle with us.
Telling you, I might be making a trip out on the water. That's dangerous. Call the Coast Guard. No, I won't have to, because Dean and Craig are here. That's right.
He's a certified rescuer.
That's what. No, we've talked about the classes. Are you guys doing the classes again this year?
Yeah, we are. We have a beginners class that really anybody can take too on June 7th. You can come out, and heck, we might have 30 people out there.
It's
which
really
like we did last
too.
year. We'll have all kinds of instructors there, and we try to get as much information in you as we can, and go through some drills, maybe do some rescues and everything. Probably will do some rescues in that one day in June 7th. But then our more intensive training is the 2-day where you actually get the certification, and we'll do that a couple of times. We usually try to do it early in the year in May or sometimes late April, but May, early June, where folks that really seriously want to learn everything you need to know to paddle on the Mississippi, and we do a 2-day training.
Well, and that's good just to put a bug in your guys' ear, really, for all the opportunities in case you guys have, at home wanted to kind of do this for a while. Now's your time to kind of start planting the seed and taking a look on the MississippiWaterTrail.org website and seeing when they come down the pipeline. They'll be on the website, correct?
Yeah, they will be. I think the basic one, the 1 day is already there. It's June 7th. But the 2-day certification is, I don't think we've decided on those dates yet. So.
Well, and honestly, it's such a great, when we were talking about the last time, my head was blown with all the different ways that you were teaching folks, and all the different instructors that were a part of it too was really unique. And one thing that I love is watching this firecracker race recap, because there's a lot of good photos on this thing. So coming up on August the 9th, canoe, kayak, or
stand-up paddleboard.
Oh, thank you. Fill me in on this. So how long has this been going for now?
I think we've been doing it for about 8 years now or so. I think there was a couple of years during COVID that we didn't do it. Yeah. We used to just do it at Riverlands and just have 5 2-mile loops, and so we did a 10-mile race. But now we're doing the last couple of years we're doing a downriver race. It's a lot of fun. We had 65 racers last year, and some of these folks come from pretty far away from surrounding states and everything, and they're pretty serious racers, and they come out with their 22 foot long racing kayak and that kind of thing. It's something to just watch, but But we have had steady growth over the years, and with 65 last year, we're looking for more.
But I mean, that's a lot of participants. See, I'd be intimidated immediately if some guy whips out a 22-foot, kayak. I'd be done. I'd pack it up.
We have different categories for racers.
Oh, that's where Dean came in for the save.
There could be the radio host category, and see you could finish first in that one.
Right. Yeah, that's true. To make it fair, we have a sea kayak class that anything under 18 feet, and then the open class where there's these kind of, I'll call them professional racers, come out, and that's
got to be fun to watch.
They're flying down the river.
It's got to be fun to watch them move, though.
Yeah.
So with that being said, 15 miles.
15 miles, yeah, from Grafton to Alton.
I don't know if I'd last, Dean. I don't know if I'd last a mile. I think just finishing the race would be a win for me.
That's good enough. It'd be a win for me, too.
Wait, which way does the river flow?
We start in Grafton and we go downstream.
So good. So I will eventually finish the race. Eventually,
yeah. We'll wait for you.
3 days later, and the sun's coming across the finish line.
There'll always be a safety boater behind you anyway, watching out for you.
Yeah. Oh, I feel bad for that guy. He better bring a lunch. No, this is really cool, guys. Seriously. So the shuttle bus will depart from Alton. We're at Alton.
At the marina down there. So the idea, we want to make it as easy for racers as we can. So, you want to park where you're getting off the river. So you park, get on the shuttle bus, and then you ride on up to the starting point. And then when you're getting off the river, your car's right there waiting for you. So
that's really cool. A mandatory meeting at 9 a.m. that morning.
Yeah, it's safety meeting. So before we start the race, we have a safety briefing with all the racers, and we'll have a Corps of Engineers boat there to help with safety, in addition to a lot of very skilled safety boaters that are kind of following the racers down the river.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just one of those things to make sure we get out. And now, how far in advance do we need to register for this?
I will have registration set up in a couple of weeks. It'll be online, but heck, even the day before.
Okay, cool.
We leave it open all the way up until the race.
That's what I wanted to make sure of, just because I know this is going to be one that folks that are watching this right now that are ready, I mean, they're booking it, but there's others I guarantee are going, man, if I'm around, if I'm around the area on August 9th, I'm in. Just to watch it would be fun. I'm telling you, I am doing the drone this year. I swear I got to call 618 drone and see if we can do that, and I'll get a wireless mic and I'll commentate the darn thing. This would be fun. But it really just a great thing to talk about too. And honestly, if you haven't seen it yet, go out on the river that day and just watch the kayaks going up and down. That'd be kind of fun just to go and sit out. I do it while I'm at the boat, because where I have my river time, because I'm sitting there by the smoking deck and I'm going, wow, there goes all of that money that you could have saved and used. You filled every pothole in town, CJ. But it'd make me feel better when I see a kayak going by. Oh man, but seriously, guys, going back to the 25th, Mississippi Meanderings is another big event, 1 to 5 p.m. Really, just going to be great. 12 is when the check-in meet and greet starts. That's going to be 12 to 1, and then wrapping up about 5 p.m. after Trapper Haskins. Haskins. I got it right the first. I got to be more confident.
Go with that.
Performs acoustic, and that'll be really cool. So there's a little bit of everything in Mississippi Meanderings, correct?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And it probably would be good for people to buy tickets in advance.
Okay.
If we have limited seating in the auditorium, and most years we've been able to accommodate walk-ups, but there's no guarantee that there's actually going to be space available at the last minute.
Yeah, we really want you to pre-register if you.
That makes sense, because this is at the National Great Rivers Museum.
It is. Yep. It is.
Was it at Old Bakery last year?
We have had it there, but it's been
a couple years. Okay, so I don't know what I did for breakfast yesterday, let alone remembering where an event was.
But maybe you're thinking after the event we go to Old Bakery.
That's what it is. Okay,
for dinner at Old Bakery Beer after.
My brain's
more time to hang out.
There you go. My brain's not too foggy, just a little bit. But Dean, really wanted to make sure we give you another plug too for this Saturday, because really just a fascinating conversation. Because if you guys heard me earlier, my perception on this was completely different perspective of what Dean's going to be talking about, and just that facet alone gets me interested to want to learn more about what a river town needs to do to thrive. And fill me in on what you're going to be talking about there.
So the presentation has a few different parts to it, but the first part is I just want to give a little bit of an overview of the history of river towns and what economies have historically driven river towns. So I think it's really informative when you take a look back at all the different ways river towns built their fortunes. Most of them don't exist anymore. So these are communities that have had to adapt and change over time, and we forget that that's just sort of part of the natural life cycle of our communities. So I'll be talking a little bit about that. I'll be highlighting a few river towns that I think are doing especially well and some of the factors that I think are really helping them do well. And then the meat of it is just kind of getting into what are some of the ideas for how to turn things around for communities that need to do things better. Where we're struggling, what can we do to maybe bend that curve and help bring some of these communities back a little bit. And I hope there's some discussion around that. Like I don't have a silver bullet. There's not some quick, easy answer to this. If there was, I'd be making a lot more money from this than I am.
My silver bullets are in the fridge.
There you go.
But you're right, Dean. It's not to cut you, but there's to have conversations about it, I think, is just such a great thing to do anyway, just to get the ball rolling a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think there are probably some things that about the way we have been building cities and are developing our communities the last couple generations that have actually hurt more than they've helped. And some of that may surprise folks when they start to think about and look at this from a different perspective.
Right.
Some of the things that we've done in the past couple generations really turned out to be not very smart.
There's a ton of things. And the one thing I always chuckle about, because I always thought because my grandpa owned Rigdon Sewer Service for a very long time. My uncle owns it now and all that. But he used to talk about the sewers and where the waste used to go before 1964. And it's like, right into the river. And I thought that was a joke. I really did, because my generation wouldn't even fathom that. And when you learn it, it blows you away, and it's like, what damage did we do?
Right.
It's just, but that's just my little point of just that portion of it. But Dean, going further into it, like with your background on it and just kind of that topic, there's a lot to discuss.
There's a lot to discuss. And, some of this stuff I don't think is, it's not exactly rocket science.
Right.
Some of it, we've built cities and communities for thousands of years. And there are some sort of timeless principles. I think we've kind of gotten away from some of those in the past couple generations. So we'll talk about that. But the river is a big part of it. Like, Alton and other river towns, we have the Mississippi as a natural asset that other communities may not have. Like, you get further inland and small farming communities that have lost a lot of population as the demand for agricultural workers has dropped. Those places don't have an asset like the Mississippi to build on.
True.
So we've always got that at our back door.
100%. Well, and honestly, guys, I always love when you stop by. This has been great. I told you 20 minutes, and here we are, 35, 40 minutes. This is fun. And it really just a taste of what's to come. If you stop by and see Dean, you can call the Hainer Library registration number or register online for Dean's presentation, or you can probably just, I don't know what the number, I got to be careful, because when I do that, and then I get a phone call from Mary saying we are full, quit telling people just to show up. So I got to be careful. Lacey's coming down here in a couple of minutes, so I'll ask Lacey how it's looking for numbers, and we'll tell
people.
Very good. But with that being said, stop by to see Dean, and also stop by to see both Dean and Craig and all of the Mississippi River Water Trail at Mississippi Meanderings, January the 25th, and then mark your calendars August 9th for the firecracker race. And stay posted to MississippiRiverWaterTrail.org for the upcoming classes and courses that are coming down the pipeline and all the resources that are available to you on the website.